What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Tap In Podcast. It's your host, Hutch. And with me, as always, are my co hosts, Mateo and Julius. And on this week's episode, we will be talking about the EFL Cup, Arsenal versus Chelsea, Man City versus United. Then we'll be moving on to the Premier League, talk about Liverpool versus Man City, Chelsea versus Wolves, Bournemouth versus Villa, and United versus the Spurs. So starting off, Chelsea versus Arsenal. It was kind of a to me kind of a snooze fest, if I don't say so. No disrespect given, but not a whole lot of anything happened in that game. No
I was
offense.
expecting fireworks, honestly.
Me too.
I thought Chelsea was going to come out fighting. Rosenior has been great for, Chelsea so far. I really thought,
And
Chelsea
they went
want
out with
this.
a aggressive formation too.
Mm-hmm.
No, I thought it was more defensive, actually.
Really?
Yeah, so he actually ended up, because if you remember, it was a 3-5-2. He ended up with dual strikers. He just packed the midfield, which ended up just forming a five in the back situation, where Cucurella and I think
I think it
who
was
was it?
Gusto.
Was it Gusto that made up
I
on the
think
right?
so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so and he talked it a little bit, and I know he got a lot of flack for it. I agree with you guys; it was a snooze fest, especially in the first half. He kind of talked about what his strategy was. It was, in the first leg we were already one down, right? We lost the first leg at home 3-2. So he was very much of the mindset that let's just wear down Arsenal as best as we can. Let's just keep the draw until the second half and then try to get them on the second half as aggressively as possible. And I think ultimately it was kind of working towards the end. We were starting to pick up a little bit of speed, but we ultimately lost the amount of time that we had to get something done. I think he should have probably made his changes a little earlier. He probably should have come in, with the changes already at the 45-minute
At the
versus
half.
at the 60. Yeah. But I at first I was a little bit more. I was kind of frustrated as well. I ended up actually not being able to watch the first half live. But then when I came back and actually watched it because I was working, we talked about that a little bit. I was like, oh, nothing's happened, and yeah, literally nothing happened. But then you see what happened with Newcastle, where within like the first 20 minutes or something, they were already two down, and I don't know. To me, I kind of understand it both ways, but I could also see how being overly aggressive up front could have easily meant that you were going to be done way earlier.
True.
And you don't want to, you maybe don't want to go, you know, strike for strike early doors to a team that's so defensively robust. Maybe you do want to chop the legs a little bit, right? Use UFC terms there. But ultimately, like that team, man, that Arsenal team is that formation. They truly are, a little army. Their formation never breaks down. They're just so robust. There's so much height too, which is a real problem because a lot of what we've done in the past is try to cross it into the box, and you could tell that there was almost zero crosses in that game because of that reason. You have Saliba and Gabriel, both who are gonna absolutely not allow you to do anything on a cross, on an aerial cross, for that game. Um, I don't know. It was a little bit defeating. I was really hopeful. I really thought, we had a lot of comebacks. I really thought we could come back and really, take this one piece of silverware away, from Arsenal. I was really hoping on that, and I was very deflated when we lost. But I think we did pretty well, all things considered. Um, I think the only thing that I would do differently, and maybe there really wasn't another option, is that I really don't know why we use the lap kind of on the right flank as kind of a winger type. I mean, he was supposed to be a dual striker situation, but if you look at his heat map, he was right all the way on the touchline. I just don't think I know he played right wing at Hull a little bit, um, but he's not that for me. He's just too raw right now. He doesn't really have that touch. He really doesn't have that hold up play. So yeah, our wing situation's kind of grim right now. We really just have Palmer and Esteval. So
And it is kind of weird, especially, employing this formation, having Gusto out on the right. Gusto and Cucurella have shown throughout the season that they can definitely get forward. I mean,
yeah,
possibly they're better going forward than they are. Well, not Cucurella. Cucurella, I think, despite however I feel about him, has proven that he's a world-class defender.
yeah.
But Gusto has shown that he has that ability to go forward, help out with the attack, create something maybe. So yeah, it is kind of weird to see that Delap was so much on the right, where if he would have just stood in the center with Pedro,
Yeah,
just
overlapping
waiting
with
for crosses.
Gusto,
Yeah.
right? Hmm.
Yeah, I think that would have made more sense. And I think I do agree with what you had said about, just trying to absorb pressure, because that midfield, Caicedo, Santos, and Fernandez, I think we talked about it in the group chat when the game was happening, that there wasn't a whole lot of creativity necessarily from that middle. It was really designed to absorb pressure and maybe get something out on, just
Counter or
one goal
something.
would have
Yeah.
changed the complexion of the entire matchup, because then you guys would have been tied, possibly gone to penalties, or,
Or
as you guys showed
if we
in
had that first
midweek.
goal early on, we would have had the attackers on there with fresh legs.
Exactly.
Could have come out
You
with
guys
a
are
win.
comeback kings.
I am right. Ultimately I really thought it was a solid enough plan. It was for the neutral. I can understand how it was a snooze fest. For Rosinier, I really appreciate how mindful he was on the situation.
Yeah.
And on the fact that it was compounded by the fact that I think Neto and James were both out for injuries or knocks, made it all a lot more challenging for him to come up with a solution. And I really do think, that had we had 15 more minutes, I think like we were starting to break down their formation, and ultimately that's kind of what you need with Arsenal. You almost need like what Chelsea did with Wolves today, which we'll get into, where I think like the antithesis of Arsenal is chaotic, crazy football where you can't really understand where anybody's going to be. You have
Man
left
United.
wingers, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You have
It's
left
like
wingers going to
counterattacking
the
football.
right. You have right wingers going to the left. All of a sudden, you have a fullback as a number 10 or whatever. Like when you do that, I think that the players don't know what to do because they have tactics drilled into their mind, and once they don't know how to handle those tactics, they kind of are forced to break
Make
their
decisions.
position, right?
Yeah.
And then on the other side, you can actually see at the end of the game with Arteta, where in the last like 30 minutes of the EFL game, he was looking a little flustered. He was like, like he was feeling that pressure. He was really feeling that pressure. And I think when you start creating chaos ball, he also starts to short out a little bit. So in hindsight, maybe that's what we should have done from the get-go, but it would have been really risky and we could have ended up like Newcastle. So
True.
it's one of those where like you're either gonna praise him or you're gonna criticize him heavily. And that's kind of what happened after the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then a last-minute dagger from Havertz, like literally in stoppage
Yeah,
time.
pointing to his badge, bro. Ooh, boo,
Bro, exactly.
That
boo,
ref,
Havertz.
that ref is an asshole, dude.
Yeah,
It was so far over the limit, and he's.
Mhm.
I was like, "Are you seriously letting this keep going? Are you? Yeah, he didn't blow it." I was like, "That's ridiculous that he didn't call it.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
He should have called it as soon as Chelsea turned the ball over. As soon as they turned it over, he should have called it. Nope.
And it's just a testament to how much Havertz being back from injury really is for Arsenal, because I mean, this is kind of what he made his name off of when he went to you guys, when he went to Chelsea from Germany. I remember, I mean, it was a dagger to my heart when he pulled the same exact shit in the Champions League final. What year was that? I don't even remember. 21 maybe. And yeah, last minute goal. Exactly like that. We had possession, we had control, and then just on the breakaway, Havertz can burn you. He's deceivingly fast, I would say. And he knows how to position himself to take advantage of those situations. And that's exactly what ultimately ended up happening. Very defensive game, but Yeah.
I hate how much of us for as inconsequential of a goal that was and how meaningless ultimately that goal was, how disrespectful he was about it.
I was offended.
I hope that the players see that, right? And absolutely go ape shit on them
Sado.
when we see them again, because we play them in the Prem at the beginning of March. I want to see them with red in their eyes. I want to see
Listen, Caicedo
aggressive
will have red
chaos
in his
ball.
eyes because he's gonna get a red card probably.
Hey, yo, relax.
I mean, the revenge
I
to
will
that
say,
man.
I think he's been doing really well as far as getting reds and yellows. He has. He's gotten a few yellows here and there, but like he's a defensive midfielder.
True.
He's gonna have to.
And he's physical.
He's
That's his
physical.
game.
He has to go into the ball. That is what he's supposed to do. He's gonna get yellows. He's gonna get reds every once in a while. I'm sorry, that's kind of the game.
No, it's
name
true.
of the game.
And if it's a tactical one, even better.
And he's gonna get better. So he's probably gonna, that's gonna go down a little bit more. But I will say this, and knock on wood, I don't think, knock on wood, knock on wood, knock on wood, knock on wood, I don't think we've seen a red card yet with Rosinier. I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Is that true?
I don't think we've had a. Hold on, let me check the.
Nobody got a red card last week?
I don't think
That's
so.
what I'm trying to remember. I'm looking up yellow cards and red cards. Caicedo has 7 so far. I'm just saying.
7
7
yellows?
reds?
He has 7 yellows and 1 red.
Well, for the season, but
yeah, for the season.
But I'm saying since let me look at the history. I don't know.
When that whole fiasco happened last week?
What fiasco?
Against that strong dude on
Oh yeah.
No one got a red card?
Oh, dude,
he got a yellow against West Ham. Oh, you're talking about
Adama Traore.
Adama Traore.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy. Oh my god, I kind of kicked myself for not talking about that one last week. First of all, the way he picked up Cucurella and threw him like he was a band from a bar. And I just love the thing about Cucurella is I think it's so funny. He does it on purpose. He lets himself get ragdolled for
His
the
hair
ref.
does a lot of the work for him.
Yeah, exactly. But I just think it's so funny how he just lays there like dead. Like he just lays there dead until people start fighting around him. He's like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna get cleat in the head," and you can see him like crawling out from underneath them. No, but then when Joao Pedro, rightfully so, right, goes to defend his player and pushes him.
Mm-hmm. The look,
dude. He looked like, honestly, and one of my favorite comments that I saw online was I saw Joao Pedro's health bar popped up because he looked like a boss fight. It looked like he was actually gonna pull out a sword and start sparring with this man.
I saw that dude. He does like those split squats as warm-ups before games.
Yeah,
I'm like, this guy's a psychopath. Who
Yeah.
does squats before a game when you have to run for 90 minutes?
I don't understand. I don't understand it.
That man
I also
just wants
don't
to show off. He
sure
uses so much baby oil before every game. He does.
He does.
Even back in Barcelona days, he would lather up so people can't catch him. It's crazy.
But what I don't understand is like correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like this would not be like his body type wouldn't. Would that be beneficial for him running? Like I feel like his body type is made for a different sport.
But he's fast,
carrying.
Though.
I don't know, but he has extra
he's lost
mass.
His step. He's getting up there in age, but dude, in another life could have been a running back without a doubt.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, no red. No, knock on wood. No reds yet.
Okay.
No reds yet.
All right.
And very very few yellows. So Rosinier is doing something, and I do think that with Caicedo, you see it on the field a little bit. Like with him, I think under Maresca, you saw a lot more risky slides, which every time that they paid off made him look brilliant, which he is brilliant, obviously. But anytime that it would look bad, it would look really bad. And I think that's where you see him a little bit more reserved. He's still pulling out crazy performances. But I think Rosinier's kind of telling him like, hey, it's okay if you have to let somebody pass through, if it means that we keep all 11 on the field. And I've noticed it a little bit, but him and Andre Santos have also provided a little bit more of like, like Swiss cheese, where Like if you have two pieces of Swiss cheese, you have a hole in one, but the second piece is gonna kind of cover you.
Yeah.
Audrey Santos is also pretty physical in there
Yeah.
with his defense. So, but anyways, yeah, that was a bummer game. But hey, at least Arsenal City is gonna be the thing that pops off, right?
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We'll
How's
see
that
what
Newcastle
happens.
game?
Oof. Okay. So with the Newcastle game, I mean, we had gone into the game already with a pretty decent advantage on aggregate. We had won last game 2-0. But this game, having Marmoush come back from the AFCON, man looks like he might have a new lease on life, or that maybe he's thrown off some of that rest that he's gotten from basically riding bench behind Holland, because he came into this game and, bro, 7 minutes in, got a goal. And it was a lucky deflection, without a doubt. It's almost a situation where he's coming in. I think a ball was played over the top to him. He was coming onto it, and the goalkeeper came out and tried to scoop it. And some lucky deflection, it almost looped over the goalkeeper and went right into the net. Great way to start the game. It was the insurance goal that we needed, because as long as we were able to hold on to that lead that we created in the first half, we should have been golden. I mean, and then soon after that, I mean, there was a couple great chances from Newcastle. I believe Gordon had one pretty early on, where if he would have scored that, then it might have been a similar situation to the week before with Spurs, and there might be a capitulation. But luckily enough, Semenyo played a ball in the 29th minute across, and again, it's headed towards Marmoush. It gets popped up into the air, and I didn't think Marmoush had it in him, but he gets above it and heads it down into the goal, and then we're basically coasting from that point on. A little bit after that, right before the end of the half, Reinders scored another goal where Semenyo had like a loose touch, and we're gonna get into that because we were talking about the game today. Where Semenyo, there might be some parts of his game where it's not as polished, but I have noticed that there are some loose touches that can go awry and can lead to, a transition threat. But luckily, this one went right into the path of Reinders, who low shot into the bottom left corner, if I'm not mistaken, and we're 3-0 up, and we're coasting at 5-0 on aggregate. Coming back from the half, Newcastle continued to have chances, and it was a similar situation, like we talked about. I mean, it's something that's been happening consistently throughout this year, where we're in control of the first half. Maybe we score a goal or two, and we could just throw it away on a whim, basically, because the momentum shifts, and we're caught on the counter a lot. Maybe our defense has not looked the brightest. And I think it was this game, yeah, because no, with the EFL Cup we had Gahey on the field. But it's a new partnership between him and Kusanov, and Alonga gets a great opportunity in the second half where he basically shoots it into the bottom left corner and it bounces off the frame, my favorite kind of goal. So, I couldn't even be mad about it. But at the same time, I was like, guys, I mean, listen, we're 5-1 up. Don't do this to me, because I've seen it too many times at this point in the season. And
What do you
Alonga
think
got
that
a
is,
couple more
though?
chances. And
What do you think it is with City, where they do you think it's just they go too hard in the first ham and fatigue and just fatigue out in the second?
I think it could be possibly that. I think obviously injuries. It's a tale as old as time. Once your back line kind of gets broken up, the one that you start the season with, it can be hard to see out games, especially, as great as Gahey has been. He's a new signing, and, Abudir Kusanov, I don't even know how great his English is at this point. I don't know. I mean, the communication might be a factor, but it's only going to come with time. So, I mean, us getting caught on transition is nothing new. This is kind of what we saw last year, and that's what kind of cost us, any chance of mounting a title defense. Um, it's just something that we suffer from. Before it was Rodri being out for such an extended period of time, Nico Gonzalez getting up to speed, playing that 6 role alone. Now we have Rodri back, but he's definitely, lost a step. So I think we're gonna remain vulnerable on the counter, especially with Nico O'Reilly and Mateus Nunes going up so much. It's similar to your Cucurella and Gusto situation where, they're great going forward, but sometimes catching up, doing that recovery run may, we're vulnerable there. Thankfully, Kusanov is a demon. He's a speed demon. So he's bailed us out a couple times, and ultimately, I hope it gets better, but it's more of the same. But yeah, Alonga got another great opportunity to make the scoreline even tighter, but nothing came of it. We were very lucky. Well, no, I wouldn't say we were lucky. We were commanding in the first game, and then we were commanding in the first half of this game.
You don't get
So-
chances if you're not aggressive and pressing, so it's luck, but it's
Yeah.
not really luck, right? So
Yeah, I mean those Marmouche shots were pretty goddamn lucky. Regardless, I'm here for it. You have to get into those positions, like you said.
exactly.
But yeah, now we're up against Arsenal, and I don't think that game is until March. I want
I
to
think
say.
it's March, yeah.
Yeah, things on a
It's
Sunday.
early
Just
March.
saying, I'm gonna be at the bar. If you
Hey,
wanna.
I'm down. I'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah. I'll cry or I'll cheer, but
Be a fun time.
I'll wear
bro.
one of your city shirts, but it's gonna get stretched out.
That's fine. It's okay, buddy.
I'll leak out of it. Stop that. All right.
All right, move on to the Premier League. Who wants to go first with their team?
We can talk
you.
about United first. Honestly, I thought that was
Okay.
an
Okay, we can talk
interesting
about
enough
United.
game. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's crazy. I keep saying this just because it's just shocking how much a team can change because of a new
Manager.
manager. That team's scary.
Yeah,
team's
yeah.
scary.
Wemo had another goal.
We have
Yep.
we have to play them soon, and I'm not looking forward to it. And Buemo's scary. And Buemo above all. When I see him rushing the goalie, I almost have to close my eyes like I'm on a roller coaster because I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I think Spurs looked actually pretty good during the first half before the red card,
Yeah, that's what really cost them.
which was kind of surprising to me because again, like we talked about it a lot. Thomas Frank, his his tactics are not jiving with the players. He's extremely defensive. Boring, lame, like half asleep during the whole match. But during that first half, the first like 15-20 minutes, I was like, okay, you guys got good possession, you guys got good pressing. I see some opportunities. I saw some good work from damn, what's his name? Xavi Simmons. And then that red card, which honestly, what did you guys think about that red? Was it a red? It was a little weird because I don't know. I don't know the rules because he had possession of the ball. It's not like he was diving into. It wasn't like he was going in for the ball.
Romero.
Yeah.
Yep.
He wasn't going in for the red. He kind of kicked the ball, and then during the kick, his feet hit Casemiro. I don't really know the rules enough, but I was always in my mind it was always like at worst it should have been a yellow, right?
Yeah.
A
But
red seemed heavy-handed.
But the issue is it's similar to, like, I guess kind of what we were talking about with Caicedo. Romero has that reputation at this point of being a very physical, aggressive defender. He'll go in for that rash tackle, and unfortunately, sometimes you're not given the benefit of the doubt if this is your MO. It could have gone either way, but it was aggressive and it was dangerous as well. So I don't know. And it was against Casemiro, who I think we have to talk about the fact that, I think he's pushing 40. He's older than us. He's well into his 30s. I know that. But he's looking great, and his distribution has been impressive over the last, since Carrick took over. And we're seeing shades of the player that he was at Real Madrid. So
The football came back.
yeah,
The football came back.
yeah. Sometimes it ages like
The
wine.
joy
sometimes
is
it
back
ages
in
like
the
cheese.
sport.
It really, but it's honestly, it really feels that way. I feel like when I watch them, there's something different about the way they play where it feels like it's like an after school match
They're lucid free.
or a weekend match. We're just going out there and playing. And it must help that they only have to play once a week. Like
cut
the
off
fact
the
that they're
shackles.
full, they're
Yeah,
100%
I think so.
fit. They're 100% fit. Nobody's exhausted from cup games. With the exception of people who've gone out for, the AFCON. Everybody's fit. Everybody's working. Everybody has to do just once a week, which is a huge advantage. You just don't need that much depth when you're only doing it once a week. But I don't know, man. They look good. They look scary.
I also think it's the change of formation, playing people in position, the fact that Mainu is back. Mainu had basically been iced out by
Yeah.
Amarim. And
For
so
no
it was
reason. Like, I don't know if
he didn't
offend
fit
him or
his system.
something.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He played him as a 10 a couple times. He wasn't creative. He's not that kind of player. He's a box to box player. Or he's a 6. And playing him next to Casemiro, who clearly has plenty of experience, you're only going to thrive under that. And then playing Fernandez, who, I mean, I was lauding the plaudits of Turkey before, how he was at the top of the assist table. Fernandez has run away with it over the last couple of weeks. He got a goal in this game. I mean, he's been on fire, and he's playing at a 10 behind Mbuemo. So I think United's trying. I think he's gonna cut his hair. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
because we're already on 4.
They have West Ham at the weekend next weekend. So
Yeah,
calling a draw.
that would be so cruel. They just want to keep the sun going.
They're gonna get a draw. And they're gonna win the next match.
You guys think he's actually gonna be sad if they cut his hair? Because he's not. He's made a little bit of money off of this.
Yeah,
his
gimmick is gone.
I saw he put out like a little movie thing.
Yeah, it's like an ad for gummies.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
He's getting brand deals.
Yeah,
he's getting brand deals.
It was with Nico Amalana. He's on the Beta Squad.
Shades. Yeah. It's called Shades by Nico. I'm not surprised.
And it was pretty good production, so I don't know.
Wait, are we talking about the same thing?
Yeah.
Are you talking about glasses?
No, that's the name of the candy. It's called Shades.
Oh,
yeah, it's called Shades.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think they look like they're the shape of glasses.
Yeah. See, so it shows you how well ads work on me. I was like, I don't even know what the brand was.
You were like, what? Ray-Bans?
I think he'll be. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna be really disappointed if he doesn't come out on the field and they cut his hair. What I envision is like each one of those players is going. Like that's my dream right there.
Right after they win, he comes out.
Yeah, if
That'd
he just
be a
does
crazy
it,
moment.
If he just does it at the barbershop, that's gonna be kind of a bummer.
It's no fun. Yeah.
No. It has to be a bunch of fans around him at least.
Oh, they gotta make a spectacle out of it for sure.
100%.
If they don't, then they're missing out on a prime marketing opportunity.
Yeah,
I agree.
But hey, shout out to them. My favorite part about this whole thing is them beating Arsenal. It was my favorite game.
Yeah,
100%.
Resoundedly. That last goal really kicked them in the nuts.
I loved it. I loved it.
It was 2 minutes after they scored the
That was
equalizer,
Dorgu with the last one, right?
Mm-hmm.
No,
I think so.
Yeah, that was Cunha.
Oh, it was Cunha.
Right.
He was doing the surfing celebration. That brings them into fourth place. That's crazy.
They're about to pass us up if we keep playing the way we're playing.
Yeah.
Let's
you want to talk about it?
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it, but I'll talk about it. So
is the purple patch gone? Is it more
it's
red?
Gone. It was gone
Red
with
patch?
all the injuries, man.
Dang.
So I'm just gonna talk about this game. So AFC Bournemouth, the first half, it was okay for us. We played all right. I think we scored from individual brilliance from Morgan Rogers and Jadon Sancho. They got Jadon Sancho got it on Morgan Rogers passed to Jadon Sancho on the right wing. He made his run. Jadon Sancho flipped him a nice pass around the defender, and he hit a banger into the top right corner, right past the goal. He hit it so hard. It was a great goal. But that was kind of the only shining moment of that entire match, if I'm being honest. We're kind of lucky that we should be lucky that he scored that, because the rest of the match, there was nothing to be happy about. Of course, they're here and there in the first half and a little bit of the second half. We had some counterattacks where we did get the ball into Ollie Watkins or somebody else, but Ollie Watkins was offsides or he couldn't beat his defender. I don't know what was going on, but a lot of the time this season when Ollie Watkins has gotten the ball in a one-on-one situation where maybe if last year, a few years ago, that he's going to get that goal. But this year, he either loses the goal or loses the ball, or the defender's able to put a foot in there and knock the ball away. I don't know what's going on, but he just hasn't been really good in one-on-one situations, and it showed in this match. He wasn't able to get around the last defender a couple of times, and that second half was just a hard watch. Was it Krupi, Evan Nielsen, Jimenez on Bournemouth were just all over us. They had the ball like 85% of that second half. It was ridiculous. They had like 19 corners.
Oof.
Compared to our
Seriously?
compared to our like
Jesus.
3. I'm telling you, without Yuri Tielemans or Abubakar or McGinn, our midfield gets dominated by some of these teams, and it's just it's frustrating to watch. And the
Are you
goal
guys-
that AFC Bournemouth scored, dude, don't even get me started. Luca Digne, if I see you in real life, oh my gosh, you guys need to see that goal. My goodness, he let him go right by him. Right by him. He was in his defensive stance in front of, I think it was like Ryan or something, or it was
Yeah.
his first home match of the game or whatever. And he's in his defensive stance. Ryan makes a move to the left, and then he just watches him go right by. He watches him go right by. Ryan goes right by. Boom, top bends, and then Digne puts his hands up like, what happened?
What happened?
What do you mean what happened? You just let him go right by you. Are you kidding? He did not play well this game at all. I honestly don't know why he started, because he's not the greatest defender. I think Ian Matson is definitely the better defender when it comes to being the right back. So that was very frustrating. He was not playing well at all. They played a lot of passes and crosses from that right side because they just got past Luca Digne a lot of the time, and it was very frustrating. But shout out to Emi Martinez for keeping it 1-1, because let me tell you, they lived in that penalty box or the box the entire second half, dude. He had like 8 saves. I think they had like 17 shots to our 2 or 3, and he saved like 7 of them. So shout out to Emi Martinez, man. He had a phenomenal. There was one more thing that I won. Oh yeah, Unai Emery. Because he's been great this season when it comes to tactics and changes and substitutions, but this game, I think he took way too long to make substitutions. I think Ollie Watkins should have been out the game by like the 55th or 60th minute. It was clear throughout the game that he wasn't really making much of an impact, even though he did have a few opportunities, but he was either offsides or not. But yeah, I think we need to play Tammy Abraham more. I think he needs to have more of a chance to like shake things up and give Ollie Watkins either a rest or a break.
Yeah, because in the 86th minute, I mean,
It's too late by then.
Yeah, it's similar to what I'm experiencing with Pep. It's just like, bro, what do you expect to happen in that? Like, you're looking for a last minute goal, but you're not really giving them much opportunity to put their hands on the game and to have an effect on the game. Giving them a chance to create.
The momentum of the game is already in Bournemouth's hands, and putting him in there for 8 minutes is not going to change anything.
You're looking for a miracle. You're not that's not tactics. That's hopium.
Yeah,
Desperation.
Desperation.
Yeah, that too.
But the thing about it is that during the game they panned over to the sideline and Tammy Abraham was getting ready in like the 60th minute, and it took him like 20 minutes to put him in. And I was like, guys, we need to score. We need these 3 points if we want to stay in these top 4. Because Chelsea and Man United are kicking at the front door right now, and we're not playing well at all. So it's like, why he waited so long? So just wasn't a very good match. Hasn't been very good matches for the last 3. I think we've only won like 3 games in the last like 8 matches. So
Is it still just because of injuries, or is anybody on their way back, or do you think this is going to be kind of?
You guys are
This
pretty
is it.
decimated. I
Yeah.
we
mean,
are really decimated. I think
McGinn, Kamara.
McGinn, I think Tielemans is the
Mhm.
biggest loss. Tielemans is definitely the biggest loss because when he's in there, he's pretty much got command of that midfield, making passes to Morgan Rogers and Watkins or Buendia. And without him there, we don't have anybody. I mean, Luis, he's cool, he's good, solid player, but he's not Yuri Tielemans when it comes to playmaking. So that's a big loss. We lose the leadership of McGinn. I feel like he was a pretty solid rock when it came to our team. He didn't let us fall out of sorts when things get difficult, but without him in there, kind of fall apart and we kind of lose our spark a little bit. So it's kind of rough. I mean, Onana's in there, but Onana's not much of a playmaker. He's definitely more of a CDM type of player there for the defense. And he was doing his thing. He was a big part of the reason why they couldn't get that second goal. He was in that box heading shots out and crosses out and all of that. So he was doing his job, but we just didn't have that playmaking or counterattack to take the lead. And when we can't dominate the midfield, they had the ball all day long. And it was just kind of sad to watch. We couldn't do shit about it. So the only bright side right now is that we're doing really good in the Europa League. We have I think that's our shot right there to get some hardware. Yep. And I don't know, does the winner of the Europa League get to play in the Champions League? So
Yes, sir.
that's
how Spurs are in there.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. So that's if we want to make it the Champions League and we don't stay in this top 5, that's our last chance to make it in is by winning it all there. So that's what I'm rooting for and rooting to stay in the top 5s.
I feel you. I mean, you have Brighton next, who I think did they win? I think they might have beaten Brentford or no Crystal Palace won today. So I mean, it's possible you can maybe kickstart the rest of your the rest of your season and try to stay in that top 5 race. But
You still in
I
the
don't
FA Cup too?
yeah,
FA Cup, we still have that. We lost the Carabao Cup like in the first game, so that's out of it. And that was hilarious. We lost to Brentford, I think, or somebody crazy. So yeah, it's been a crazy season for us, I think.
It's been a crazy season, period, I think.
yeah, for sure. Especially if you look back at like what people were anticipating, the money spent from Liverpool.
Everybody was in the fact
Arsenal
that they were champions.
Yeah.
Everybody was like Liverpool 1, Arsenal 2.
They're gonna walk it. Yeah.
I think in the first 5 games of the season, Aston Villa was in the bottom 3. For the first 10, they were in the bottom 3, and now you're in the top 5. No one expected that to happen from the
Sunderland was also always in the bottom. They were like, oh, they're going to be right back to the championship, and they are definitely not. I mean, they're kind of outside of their bit of form, but they're 9th, and people were expecting them to be in the relegation. Is that Tottenham in 15th?
Yeah.
Wait. Tottenham is Tottenham's in a relegation battle.
If they keep
Is this
losing,
real?
Yeah, they're pretty close. They could get drawn into it.
23, West Ham with 23, and then they're in 29th. What games do they have coming up?
They have Newcastle.
let me ask you this:
Newcastle. No, not at all.
if they get relegated, are they still in the Big 6 or whatever the hell it's called?
That's a good question. I don't know how that works. Wait, no. They're in the Champions League.
They are. They were 4th in the Champions League. They finished better than you and me.
Is there? What happens if they win the Champions League but get relegated?
Get relegated?
Such a Spurs thing to do. That'd be crazy.
They're
not gonna win it. They're not gonna win it.
If you win the Champions League, you get to play in the next year's Champions League, right? Obviously.
I think so.
Would this be the first time ever that a championship team
plays in the Champions League?
It'd be like 7 English teams.
I almost want them to win it. I almost want them to win it for that reason. I want them to get relegated and win it. I really do. That sounds
being the first
so
at
funny.
doing something nobody wants them to do.
That'd be so funny.
That's
crazy. 15th. Wow. Sorry, I got distracted.
No, it's fair.
That's really close. They're within 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
Did hit the 40-minute mark.
Wow. And West Ham's in form. They won
Yeah,
they won against
3 out of the last
Burnley this
5.
weekend, and they only lost to us. But honestly, I could have seen it gone the other way too on that one.
But like we talked about, I mean, they're going up against United next, who are pretty,
they're doing
they're
doing
they're
good.
doing
But
pretty
again,
great.
I wouldn't be surprised if they came out with at least a draw or something.
Let this man cut his hair. Why are you guys doing this?
I don't want to see him on my feet anymore. Anyways, Chelsea Wolves, what a game. What an interesting game. Palmer hat trick, guys.
Palmer
A penalty, 2 penalties.
2 penalties and a
Yeah.
goal. You know what? A hat trick is a hat trick at the end of the day. Look, will I say hat trick is a hat trick?
No,
He took the
I
ball
agree
home.
with you because he had to score
But-
them, and he did great. He
did
was
great.
as cold
But
as
let's be
ever.
honest, but why did he get to do the penalties
Also
when he
true.
wasn't
He's-
the one
he's
that got fouled?
Well, but he's
Yeah.
actually arguably one of the better PK
And I agree
takers. I
with
think
you.
he's only missed one in his career.
I
if
agree,
Yeah.
with you, but
believe.
Yao Pedro was the one that got fouled each time, though. So why couldn't he get one?
It's
Listen,
true.
it's a team sport, and we need if we. I think
Is
João
Yao
Pedro
Pedro not good at
knows.
penalties?
João Pedro knows that a prime Cole Palmer means he's going to score more goals. João
Oh,
Pedro,
okay. It's
if
a
Cole
confidence
Palmer's doing
building
good,
exercise.
João Pedro's doing good. If Cole Palmer's eating, João Pedro's eating. I think everybody understands that.
Yeah, and to be fair, sometimes they'll have a designated PK taker, or the captain will take all the PKs, or the top goal scorer will. But yeah, it could be argued that maybe Pedro should have done one of them. But let's talk about it. Let's be real. How do we feel about the PKs being given? Because I
Those-
rewatched the highlights. The first one seemed pretty clear because
Yeah.
he stamped on his foot, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he stepped on his toes. The second one, he just outright shoved his ass in the. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't be
push
touching
was-
people in the pen.
was soft, but it was also like, bro, what are you doing?
He's
You
like,
already gave
why?
up
Why
one
would-
PK.
And
Why
then
are you
had the
pushing him in
nerve
the
to
box?
be like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? You shoved him in the box.
It's one of those things where it looks soft, but if it was my team, I would want that given. So I can't even be
A
mad.
foul is a foul, and it was
Yeah,
in the box.
100%.
What do you mean? I mean, you see
I
those
agree
kinds
with
of
you.
fouls in the midfield all the time, and
But
they're
we
not
also
yellows,
see those
they're
not get
just
called all the time for
fair.
My-
but,
my
but a
team,
foul is a
there was
foul
a
in the
couple
pen. I would have
times
said something.
Buendia
Yeah.
got killed in the box against Bournemouth, and nary a whistle was blown. So
Mhm.
I don't know
Sometimes
who it was.
it goes your
Was
way.
it the same person too who got both those fouls?
Ooh, I don't think so.
if it was
No.
him, sell him immediately. Loan
Yeah,
him
I was
out.
gonna say. I mean, that's just poor defending. Period. Like
It's Wolves, guys. What do you expect here?
True.
Yeah.
They're gonna get
Relegation form.
relegated.
yeah. They're
Literally
not doing
last.
great. I mean, they definitely gave us that game. Like, there's not really a whole lot to talk about that. I will say though one thing. So I really liked Chelsea's form at the beginning of the game. I really like how we were playing. I really like how, and this is what I was talking about earlier. It felt very like chaotic and different, and everybody was in a different position. I would see Enzo on the left a lot, Enzo Fernandez a lot, right? I was seeing Pedro come down quite a bit. I saw Cole Palmer was in the left randomly at some point, and I don't know. I really appreciate the idea of trying different people in different positions, right? Especially when you're trying to figure out a solution for that left wing, which is kind of growing. I'll say, like we're struggling a little bit there. We're developing a little bit there. So I really like that difference in motivation. But I gotta say that second half was really disappointing to see. I really felt like the team's mindset shifted almost immediately at the halfway mark. Like we had that hat trick already in the bag. I feel like everybody knew that we were gonna win the game, but then we conceded that goal, which I really don't think. Like, I felt really bad for Robert Sanchez because he's been really good this season, and he really deserves a lot of flowers at the end of the season if he keeps up this form. He did not deserve to get that goal. That was bad defending. João Pedro lost that ball almost immediately. It was kind of an awkward position.
It was a
but
scramble in the box.
it was a
seemed
scramble
like.
in the box. I don't know why we're struggling to claim balls. I think again we're kind of receding back into a crowd the box mentality when Sanchez has been really good at claiming balls and crosses. So I was really disappointed there. And then we almost let Wolves have almost like a little bit of a second win after the fact, which I was really disappointed to see. I think that one of the things that is killing us from having such a young squad is that I think they don't have the maturity yet, or they don't have the anxiety that comes from kind of like stepping down your mindset, kind of going back into first gear on a team just because you're not kind of respecting the game a whole lot. And I really think that's where that one goal came from. And I think if it was any other team, they could have easily gotten two goals on us or 3 goals on us and tied it up. So I really hope that Rosenior sees that and really puts it into their minds that like the game's not done until the ref blows that whistle.
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep it up with that same intensity. That second half is not a time for you to be vacationing and turning off and daydreaming about what you're going to have for your after game meal or whatever. You're still in that game. You're defending, you're attacking, you finished. If that game should have see that game out, get 6-0 for all I care, right? Like that's the mindset that you should be targeting. Ultimately, it was a good hat trick. I appreciated that hat trick for what it was. I think Cole Palmer's been losing confidence because of his injury. He hasn't lost form, and I think that this is the kind of thing that could help bring a little bit more of his swagger back into the game. And you kind of saw it after the match. Like you saw how he was talking to people. He was smiling when he scored that third goal, which was a free play goal.
That was a beautiful goal.
It was a great goal.
He roofed it.
Roof it. Yeah. He jumped up. He jumped for joy. Like you could tell that some of that anxiety came out of him.
Did this shit, not gel this time.
And the fact that he still, he said it. He's still not 100%. He's still technically injured. He's still working through that small injury. So I'm happy to see that. I'm also happy to see that like everybody's
what happened
a lot
to
happier.
This man groin?
I don't know. I was actually researching that a little bit more. It's like a small muscular tear that happens in a lot of like wingers' legs from like sharp movements. He had gonorrhea. He got gonorrhea.
Okay. At least the truth finally came out.
It's not taking to the antibiotics well.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
it happens. He has to shower separately. I gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
But a lot of wingers get this kind of who was it that recently had the same injury? What's his name from Barcelona? Lamine Jamal. Lamine Jamal just came back.
Yeah,
from that
he
did.
He get a groin injury at around the same time.
Yeah, right. So it's one of those things where it can become chronic, and a lot of the times you end up with needing surgery. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the season he goes in for surgery, which is it's a little nerve wracking because sometimes players don't come back from surgeries the same. Hopefully he can come back from it naturally. But yeah, he's I want to see Pete Cole Palmer. I want to see him again. I think Pete Cole Palmer with the team we have now, if we can, because I think defensively we're a lot better than last season. It seems Chalobah's been doing a lot better than at the beginning of the season. Sanchez, of course. We're gonna have Sarr coming onto the team probably for Hull. He's been kicking ass at Strasbourg, so I'm excited to see what happens there. Obviously, Reece James and Cucurella are world class. So honestly, that with a little bit of depth in our defensive issues is gone.
Fofana has looked great.
Fofana's looking great. I'm a little nervous. He might have a knock right now, and he's a little bit injury prone. But Fofana's great. I agree with you. I think Tosin will probably be sold.
You hope.
Hato has Tosin. Great. Not Tosin. Anybody but him.
I like Hato. I think
Hato's good.
Tosin's starting to thrive in this new coach, man.
Exactly. Yeah, he can work on the left, but he's played center back as well. And then of course Josh Ashampong, which is he's been a great center back as well for us. I think if we can turn Gittins and Garnacho on, I think there's a player in Garnacho. I think there's a player in Gittins. I don't know what you have to do to unlock that person, because Garnacho is pooping the bed. He has good GA this season, but recently he's been bad. Same thing's going on with Neto. I don't know. Neto, as good as Joao Pedro's become, almost Pedro Neto has become just a little bit worse. And I don't know if it's the style of play or what have you. I think he's also been dealing with a knock. I don't know. Hey, I'll take a win. Senior seems to be taking well to the team. Everybody seems happy.
Absolutely.
He had that little moment with that post. I don't know if you saw that video of the post game interview with Rosinier where Cole Palmer was like, he kind of bombed the interview in a cheeky way, and it seems like they have a report.
No, I
We'll
mean,
see.
so far, Rosinier and Carrick. I mean,
doing the thing.
Yeah, let's see how the season ends, but either one
telling
of
you,
them could
man,
have a case for
let's-
manager of the season. I don't know.
I hope this is the Carrick and Rosinier era, akin
No.
to a Pep and
Nope. Don't co-sign.
Klopp situation.
Nope. Don't co-sign. No.
What do you mean? It'll be great. What do you want?
No.
More? You want Haram ball? Is that what you want? You want Arteta Haram ball for the rest?
Pep playing his best. That's
Pep playing his best, man. Go back
Listen.
10 years.
When he first signed.
Yeah, exactly.
He won all them leagues.
Suit
and won the treble.
Tie.
That's
suit and tie. Yeah,
you can start that all over again.
Suit and tie Pep. Handsome man.
No. Put my guy in like casual wear, same shoes every week. Looking nervous, spitting all the damn time.
Ugh.
I'm here for it. No.
Disgusting.
Give me that.
Speaking of City, y'all just beat Liverpool not an hour ago.
Bro.
Yeah. What a game
I was
that
anxious.
Dramatic. Yeah, me too.
I was anxious going into it.
I'm not even a fan.
Yeah. Because, I mean, considering what happened last week, we looked fantastic against Spurs first half. And then, same sort of thing that I was worried about midweek with Newcastle. We started conceding in the second half. We're a different team in the second half. This game was poised to be a situation where, I think if we would have lost this, without a doubt, like before, I'm already kind of a little glum about our prospects for winning this title. But if we would have lost this, I would have been like, okay, Arsenal have done what they've done. They're looking respectable. We just don't have it defensively, and we can't see out games. But, brother, I mean, from the very first minute, we had a fantastic opportunity where Haaland is in on goal, and Kirk is, I mean, for all the sort of, shit talking we can do about him throughout the season, coming from Bournemouth and not quite living up to the billing, definitely bailed them out in that instance. I mean, I'm telling you, literally first minute, and it was that kind of game because it was very back and forth. Throughout the first half, and then again in the second half, it was a lot of back and forth. Liverpool were up for it. The crowd, it was in Anfield. The crowd were booing Gahey every opportunity that they got. If you don't know the context, Gahey was supposed to sign for them over the summer. They put in a bid, and I think I don't know if it was
Oliver.
Wages.
No.
Oh, it was Oliver Glasner. Yeah.
Glasner blocked it and basically was saying, "I need him for this season." He was. I think it was a situation where he. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Gahey was actually very professional. We talked about it a little bit, where he was the exact opposite of
Isak and
Wissa.
We saw a bunch of that. Yeah, early on in the season.
Did Glasner leave?
Well, no, because he stayed.
He's planning on leaving at the
end of the season. Yeah.
Good.
But Glasner. Yeah, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think Glasner has seen how. Anyways, I was gonna get in a bit of a tangent, so we can.
No, go for it, man. No. Because that Crystal Palace team has been kind of taken apart piece by piece.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is I think Glasner it hasn't been backed with new players, and I think that he probably would have re-signed with Crystal Palace had Crystal Palace ownership or whomever would have backed them with newer players or something. They have a decent academy. I think that they could have probably made Crystal Palace into a proper team, but I think he sees that they just keep selling his best players. I think Mateta is going to be trying to leave here soon too. So
he was trying to leave this January, but he failed the medical for, was it Roma? I think he was going abroad. and he failed the medical. But yeah, no, without a doubt, because I mean, listen, just from let's bear in mind that Glasner has done a fantastic job at Crystal Palace. They won the FA Cup last year. They won the Community Shield at the beginning of this year. They knocked out. They've beaten Liverpool like 3 times. I just know Crystal Palace has been doing a great job, but they've sold Elise to Bayern Munich. They've sold Eze to Arsenal. They sold Gehi to us. I mean, and Wharton, who's like their talisman in the midfield, is probably going to leave this summer
Yeah.
as well. So, I mean, I can understand him being frustrated and making those like ultimatums, but yeah, suffice it to say, Liverpool are still salty about it, without a doubt.
Sorry, a bit of a tangent there. Apologies.
No,
Man City was doing really well in the first half, I thought.
they were.
I actually thought that they were. I didn't think it was that much of a back and forth. I thought that City was pretty dominant in the first half.
So yeah, I agree. In terms of possession, we were definitely on top in that first half, but there were transitional moments where I can think of one where like Ekatike had a great opportunity, and I think he got who did he get blocked by? He got shut down by Gehi actually. Gehi kind of like muscled him off the ball and saw it out of bounds. And kind of going to something else that we discussed while the game was happening. Semenyo, they set up in a weird way. It was a bit of a 4-2-2-2 where there's like two DMs, there's two almost attacking midfielders or like kind of box to box players, and then two strikers. And Semenyo was almost it was Rodri at the base of the midfield. Bernardo had the license to kind of roam wherever he wanted. He could defend, he could go create. And then Semenyo was almost right behind Haaland and Marmoush, which kind of goes back to what we were talking about with the Newcastle game. Marmoush had that great game in midweek, and with Doku out, Pep was kind of faced with a weird dilemma where he has Marmoush, who just came back from AFCON, who looks in great form, or maybe started something. Semenyo has been brilliant since he started, and Haaland has kind of been out of sorts over the last couple of weeks. So it was a situation where Semenyo can be a winger, but he can also play as a striker. He basically had 3 strikers where he had to deploy them across the front line with Doku out and with Foden also out of form. So he kind of set up where Semenyo was the cam, and you talked about it. You were like, I don't know. Semenyo is not looking that great. He definitely had some key passes that were like awry. I think even the commentary said it. They were like, he's had 3 clear-cut chances to thread the needle, and he's just not that type of player. And in my notes, I put, this team, what they need is a needle threader, and we need to see Cherky on. So move Semenyo somewhere else, because I feel like he's shown throughout the season thus far with us that he can make a chance out of nothing. And Marmoush has been in great form, but we need a Cherky to kind of thread the needle and come up with some of those key clinical passes. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of a nothing burger for the first half, despite having massive amounts of pressure. We couldn't capitalize on it, and so Liverpool looked great on the break when they did get opportunities, but coming into the second half, man, similar to the Spurs game, it looked like a different team came up against us, because then Liverpool, the momentum definitely shifted in their direction. Ekitike in the 50th minute, massive chance. Massive chance. And then it became a much more transitional game, because right after Ekitike had that great chance that got blocked, Semenyo had a great shot. And then immediately the ball was given up, and Ekitike went nearly he went almost all the way, almost had a worldie off of a Salah cross that I think he tried to like chest it, like he tried to do like one of these and just kind of let it like float into the in the net, and it missed. But and then Gakpo had another great opportunity. Kusanov got injured, and then we finally saw some subs, because with Kusanov down, luckily Ruben Diaz is back after getting injured. I don't even remember what game that was, but it was the same game that him and Vardiel, your doppelganger, went down. But Turkey came on. And there was some good opportunities from then on out. I mean, Gahey had a foul right outside of the box. It was a fantastic free kick opportunity. I mean, so good. But why did they go with Salah? That's not Salah's game. Salah skied it. And I felt relieved. I was like, oh, finally.
They're still looking for that ball. I was reading.
But they probably still are. And despite having that great opportunity from a set piece, Salah skied it. We gave up almost an identical chance, like maybe 5-10 minutes later, and not even identical. It was in a better position. It was almost dead center of the goal, right outside of the box. And we've seen what Szoboszlai can do. I'm shocked that Szoboszlai didn't score, didn't take the free kick the first time.
Yeah.
But this goal, dude, it was a worldie, a knuckleball. Donnarumma was rooted to the spot.
Well, because you saw how it was flying. Some nerd, some aerospace engineer is gonna have to look at the aerodynamics of that ball. Shut up. And because Donnarumma is standing, he's rooted because the ball is coming in this way.
Yeah.
It's not until halfway through where it
like curves. Yeah.
Crazy. What a goal, man. What a goal.
Yeah. Szoboszlai, I mean, is a phenomenal talent. They had him playing right back today. And even from right back, he was making key stops, blocks. He was taking free kicks. He was it's weird because Slot didn't make Alexander-Arnold into what he was, but it seems like Slot even realized, damn, you can do a lot from right back. So it's almost like, especially once who did they have initially in right back this season? Regardless, they eventually moved Szoboszlai over there and have allowed him to kind of do the same thing that Arnold was doing before and be a creator from right back. But I mean, that goal was lights out. At that point, it was late. When did that goal come in? Let me see. In the 74th minute, and I'm thinking, bro, we've had so many opportunities, we haven't capitalized on shit, and now they just scored that. I don't know. This could get spooky for the rest of the game. Yeah, and then I wasn't expecting it. I'll be honest. 10 minutes later, a ball gets played into Erling Haaland. He flips it over the defender. It might have been Konate, who actually had a pretty decent game today. He flipped it over him right into the path of our little rat captain, Mr. Bernardo Silva, another short king. We love him. And
feels like he comes from the same tribe as Bruno Fernandes.
Probably. I don't know. Similar facial hair for sure. But Bruno Fernandes has at least got some height to him. Bernardo is very small. But slotted it in, and like a true captain's goal, just like the commentator said. I mean, it definitely brought us back into the game, and from then on, I mean,
holding on for dear life.
But I felt like the momentum shifted again towards us, where we had a couple other great opportunities. That was in the 84th minute, so we're looking at 6 minutes plus whatever stoppage time. There had been some stops. I had mentioned Kusanov went down. There was plenty of fouls. There was those free kicks. So I knew time was going to get added on, but like, can we do it, or are we gonna just get 1 point and continue to drop points after failing to maintain that pressure on Arsenal? They just had a great game against Sunderland. Are we going to continue to drop it? Because then at that point, I'm thinking, okay, this game is just pretty much a microcosm of our season, where we have a great first half and then I have a lackluster second half where we can't see anything out. And that's ultimately what we're seeing in the title race. But thank God for Mateus Nunes, who has had like the turns of all turns in my mind, because before I was happy to see the back of him, and I want to Livramento from Newcastle as a right back. But he got up there in the box and got fouled, and Haaland gets a penalty kick, and Szoboszlai was definitely trying to put him off his game, chatting up a bunch. Their VAR looked at it for a bit. Yeah, but Haaland scored. Haaland scored, and he went the same way that Alisson went, and just overpowered him, and it was beautiful to see. And after that, it was just bedlam because, we're feeling good. We have this tendency to concede late equalizers or winners. Can we see this out? And Liverpool are kind of in a similar situation. They don't want to lose a point. They're, like we've talked about, they're knocking on the door of the top 5. I think they're in 6 currently. They need a win here as well. And not to mention, Anfield's a hard place to go. They should be dominating these games. I think the commentators even said it. We haven't won in Anfield for like 3-4 years. It's been a while. So they sent Alisson up. I don't know if he did that of his own accord, if Slot told him to do that, but we're talking like the 99th
He was
minute.
inspired by Mourinho.
Maybe he was like, I mean, if Benfica could do it, I could. I've scored a goal before. And I mean, successive free kicks and corners, he's up there. And leaving them exposed. And eventually, one of the I think it was a free kick.
Yeah, it's just a second ball, comes right out.
Gets right out, and I believe it goes to Ryan Aït-Nouri. There was a couple breaks like this, but I think Ryan Aït-Nouri gets it, plays it to Cherki. Cherki, between like 3-4
Just
players,
rolls it. Yeah.
literally like toe pokes it, and it's doing a slow roll into an empty net. Haaland, who got pace for days, is going up against, who is he up against?
Szoboszlai.
It was Szoboszlai. Man,
Yeah.
Szoboszlai had a game today.
Yeah.
Highs and lows. It was Szoboszlai. And there's like there's some wrestling going on. Haaland hasn't beat for pace. He almost I think and when eventually VAR looks at it and the ref talks about it, there's a foul committed by both players where they both fouled each other, but they're deeming the Szoboszlai one way worse. So let's just back up.
Which I thought was harsh. I personally thought it was very harsh.
For me,
for it to be a red, it wasn't a goal scoring. It wasn't.
It was
denial of a goal scoring opportunity.
It was. It absolutely was. For me,
a small
hold on.
Shirt versus a whole arm.
No, but
back.
Okay, hold on. First off, the ball went into the net, so Cherki, they're already celebrating. The banner even turns bright blue or baby blue, and it's 3-1 Man City. So I'm like, I'm cool with that. Fuck the fouls. Let them cancel each other out. I've seen it before in the NFL. If both teams foul each other, or if there's an incident, they can cancel out, right? I've seen that. I'm not making that up. I might see that today. But they go back, they look at it through VAR, they send the guy to the monitor, and it definitely is a denial of a goal scoring opportunity because Haaland pulls away from Szoboszlai. He's getting ahead of him. So if Cherki doesn't have it on goal, Haaland is gonna knock it in. He's gonna knock it in. Now they both fouled each other, but Szoboszlai, when he gets burned for pace, pulls him back. And then they start tumbling each other, and then I think Haaland tangles up with him even worse. It's bad. The reality is, I would have preferred that last the Cherki goal stand. Ultimately, they give a free kick. They send off Szoboszlai with a red card in literally the 90th minute plus 13. So it's going late. And Cherki takes a shot on goal. It would have been poetic if he would have made it. But
it wasn't a shot on goal. He purposely skied it to prevent. I think so. It was a sky ball. I think he did it on purpose.
I think it was pretty close.
Oh, maybe. I thought it looked like it was. It definitely went past the. It wasn't saved because I think the risk.
No, it wasn't saved.
I think the risk could have been a rebound or a second ball coming back and then going back. I think they just wanted the game to end,
be over,
and I could see him just skying it to have a goal kick and then call it a day.
It's possible. And the
chaotic
reality
game nonetheless.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous ending to the game, and definitely not what I expected in terms of going into that game. What was going to come out of it? Great 3 points. I'm going to take it, and hopefully we can do
Yeah.
a job against Fulham and just hope that Arsenal continue to shit the bed.
I mean,
But
they have a tough.
Well,
didn't
they're
this
kind of coming
weekend.
back.
Yeah, they are.
They
coming
didn't this
back.
weekend.
They do have a tough matchup next week, but
Who are they next week?
Brentford.
Okay.
Yeah,
And defensively,
it's possible.
Brentford's pretty good. So
We'll
Yeah.
see. I hope so. I hope
Yeah,
so.
it's possible.
we'll have to see.
Yeah, man. I will say one thing though. Arsenal, am I gonna have to get ready for an Arsenal victory here? Because I'm kind of getting bummed out. It's not
Yeah.
happening fast enough. I'm wanting to see this gap get a little smaller. I want to see City win
Could have
more
been.
games so that I can see Holland post more videos. But I'm seeing the opposite, and
Boy's
I'm
not
not happy
posting.
about it.
Yeah.
He hasn't posted in a while, ever since Christmas. I want to
No,
see
no,
him
there
dress
was
up
one
as more
after.
things. Was there?
Yeah, he was celebrating his first 50 goals in the Champions League, and he did like a play-by-play. It was pretty good. It was
I know.
entertaining. Just saying. But yeah,
But I don't want to live in this world, man.
me
They
neither.
need to bottle it. And if the bottle it, that's the thing though. The longer that it looks like they're gonna win it, makes that bottling even better.
True.
Somebody
It-
should give him a trophy for bottling.
I mean, this would be the fourth year in a row, essentially. But we
sick.
do have to say that, Zubamendi, second game in a row, scored. Gyökeres
do.
has looked good in 2026. The first goal was pretty nice. He's like falling down and gets a kick to it, goes flying in. The second one was a little bit more of a tap in. I think Martinelli squared it to him. But regardless, Gyökeres is finally starting to come good. We might have to prepare ourselves for that eventuality, unless somebody could stop them.
I mean,
Hey,
you're the only.
we're getting the
here.
treble.
Head ass.
Treble.
I mean, listen, we'll see what happens. This could be an
Crazy
exciting
things
end
have
to the
happened, I'm
season.
sure.
What happens?
Crazy things have happened, I'm sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been another episode of the Tap In Podcast. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see y'all next week. Peace out.